Thursday evening. It's part of the Holy Week. And knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, Jesus gathered his disciples and gave his final words to them. A few hours later, he was betrayed, arrested, falsely accused, tortured, mocked, flogged, and sentenced to death. The greatest injustice the world has ever seen. The murder of a completely innocent man. About noon on Friday, they forced him to carry his own cross to the place of the skull. And there John writes, they crucified him. Well, John doesn't say too much. Matthew does, and I'll read that in just a minute. To be crucified for us, we don't understand. It's like talking about Pearl Harbor after seeing the movie. It's like talking about the storming of the beaches of Normandy after watching it on the screen. We've never seen men kill each other with weapons that are designed to disintegrate other human beings. We've never felt the chaotic terror, the panic screams. We've never smelled the burning human flesh. And when John writes, they crucified him, his audience already knew. They had witnessed Roman crucifixions. They had seen the torn flesh and the spilt blood. They had smelled the odor of leaking bodily fluids from a dying man. They had heard the anguished cries and the nauseating screams. John didn't need to tell anybody. They already knew. Death by crucifixion was, by any stretch of the imagination, horrid. It was so awful that we have taken the Latin word crux and we've made an adjective out of it. Excruciating. And excruciating means intensely painful and tormented. Read with me what Matthew writes in Matthew chapter 27, starting in verse 32. Verse 26, they said, they led him away to crucify him. And as they were going out, they met a man from Cyrene named Simon. And they forced him to carry the cross. And they came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. There they offered Jesus wine to drink mixed with gall. But after tasting it, he refused to drink it. And when they had crucified him, they divided up his clothes by casting lots. And sitting down, they kept watch over him. Above his head, they placed the written charge against him. This is Jesus, the King of the Jews. 2 robbers were crucified with him, one on his right and one on his left. Those passing by hurled insults at them, shaking their heads, saying, "You are going to destroy the temple and build it in 3 days? Save yourself. Come down from the cross if you are the Son of God." In the same way, the chief priests, the teachers of the law, and the elders mocked him. "He saved others," they said, "but he cannot save himself. He's the King of Israel. Let him come down from the cross, and we will believe him." He trusts in God. Let God rescue him now if he wants him. For he says, "I am the Son of God." And in the same way, the robbers who were crucified with him also heaped insults upon him. For us, a picture, words on a page. For him, bitter reality. Forsaken by all of his friends, crying out to God for salvation, and God refusing to answer. You know, I can't take you back and let you see a crucifixion. But maybe this video will help you. Watching her son die, his friends surrounded him. All Mary knew is her little baby was dying, and there was nothing she could do. Peter knew all about crucifixion. And as he thought about it, he wrote about it in 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 18 and 19. "For you know that it was not with perishable things, such as silver or gold, that you were redeemed from the empty way of life handed down to you by your forefathers." You know about it. It wasn't with corruptible things, things that lose their value. It wasn't with silver or gold, the most expensive things to be had back then. And if you read that and you thought about it as a Gentile, you would think, I know what he's talking about. I was a slave, and he came and purchased me. Now, slaves were not cheap. If you were a normal person, you would make 3 sestertii a day. The cheapest slave would cost 200. The most expensive, 700,000. And Christ purchased us because we were slaves. Now, did you notice he doesn't say he paid it to Satan? He doesn't say, this is what you get. He just said he purchased us. Now, if you were an Israelite back then, you would remember this word, purchase, doesn't have to do with purchasing a slave. It has to do with redemption from Egypt through the Exodus. And God redeemed his people by displaying his awesome power. And he conquered the mightiest person in the world and freed his people. In both concepts, there's freedom at the end of the tunnel. And you know this. You were redeemed not with gold or silver that loses its value. You were redeemed from the empty way of life where you just kind of lived for yourself. You kind of took care of things related to you. Maybe if you're a good person, you took care of your family. But you lived for yourself and your family, and that's it. And the Lord Jesus redeemed us from that. Did you notice what else it said? But with the precious blood of Christ, his blood has an exceptional value. More valuable than gold, more valuable than silver. It's like the blood of a lamb without blemish or defect. Certainly Peter is thinking about the Passover lamb who has been examined and found to be perfect. If you lived in the Second Temple period, tomorrow would be the Passover. Thousands of lambs will be slaughtered. Their blood will run down the steps of the temple. And as the priests raised their hands to strike the animal, 3 o'clock, that's the time that the Lord Jesus died. You see, it's not silver or gold that redeems us. It's the precious blood of Christ. More valuable than silver, more valuable than gold. You may say, well, why does God allow something horrible like this to happen? The murder of an innocent man, a miscarriage of justice, torture of his own son. God allows what he hates to accomplish what he loves. He allows what he hates, the crucifixion of his son, to accomplish what he loves, purchasing us and giving us freedom. We now belong to him, just as we are, broken, hurt, and he accepts us just the way we are.